Good evening, everyone. I'm just trying to make sure. Working. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. So we're going to be talking about citizenship and passports, basically. With burning question that the whole diaspora itself and the North and out West in California basically want to know. So first thing, eligibility and the benefits of becoming a Barbadian citizen. For those eligibility, individuals born internationally to a Barbadian mother or father, legally adopted children of Barbadian nationals, or individuals who married to a Barbadian national, as well as children under the age of 18 who are born to a citizen of Barbados. To go further into that, the benefits of acquiring citizenship access to free healthcare services via any government-operated health facility in Barbados. So if you get sick and you need a clinic or you need dentist, something, you go down, get your teeth clean, and you do not have to pay a cent. The government covers that for you. That includes root canals, dental surgery, government will cover all of that. That's what free healthcare means. I don't know if America will with that, but it's probably not into it. The next benefit, you also have access to medication at a significantly reduced cost or for totally free via the Barbados Drug Service. And I would let you know the Barbados Drug Service is a unique anomaly across the healthcare system in the world. We are literally the only drug service in the world that offers free medication to the citizens of the country. So as long as you have Barbadian citizenship and you are unwell, you can acquire medication, quality medication, I might add, at a reduced cost or free of charge. We also have access to free education at all levels, as primary, secondary, tertiary. Tertiary includes the University of the West Indies, which is one of the top universities in the world. There's also the San John Prescott Polytechnic. There's the Barbados Community College. We offer a range of things from culinary to, well, now we're starting an aviation program as well, so at the University of the West Indies. So we're really going the mile now, and that's all under the premise of Molly, who is seeking to expand the capacity and the knowledge base of our citizens. You also get access to the world's 19th most powerful passport. Now, how many of y'all knew that? Which gives you visa-free access to 163 countries, including China. America does not have that. Neither does Ghana and Ghana. And I know you got direct flights out of Atlanta, as well as the UAE. So that's Dubai, Abu Dhabi. You can also go to other cities as well to out in Asia, visa-free access with your Barbados passport. So, or even Cuba as well too.
What?
Yes. So the application process. So here at the consulate, what we really and truly would need is a complete citizenship application form and the appropriate one. So that would be if you are acquiring citizenship in marriage, then you would complete that form, or citizenship by descent. Now, we need you to gather the required documentation, originals and copies. So that's a birth certificate, both the applicant and your parents, or whichever parent has the citizenship as well too. The spouse, parent or spouse proof of Barbadian citizenship, your marriage certificate, and if you get a divorce because the religion didn't work out, the man they horny or the woman they horny, and you say you're leaving, well, I need a divorce decree too to say that you tell him kick the girl. I drop dead or she dropped dead, well, I need their certificate as well. I also need 3 passport size photographs on a white background and with no shadows. We've been getting a lot of passport and citizenship applications where the background dark, it blue, it red, it stand up, taking it at the side of your house, that green. I can't work with that. And also don't wear white clothing. You can wear your kind of white background. We know you're black or you're white skin, but you can disappear in the white shirt. All right. The next thing, your photos must also be certified by the Republic prior to the submission. There's a non-refundable application fee of $150 US, and that's payable via money order. If it is approved, if your application approved, there's a final fee of $750 US to acquire the citizenship. Also, please send a prepaid US Postal Service priority mail return shipping label so that we can get them back to you directly and as quickly as possible. So that's about it, basically, truly on the citizenship aspect. But I know you all have questions, so feel free to ask them when appropriate time. Not yet, not yet. I want your citizens, I want your passports as well. So, passports is very short. For new passports, we need the passport application form. That would be Form A for adults, Form B for children under 16. The requirements are basically the same. Birth certificate and a valid photo ID, so that's your driver's license or your old passport. If you're a citizenship by descent, we need a certificate of citizenship by descent or marriage, that's where applicable. The shipping label as well. 2 passport size photographs, not 3, not 1, not 4, not 7. I just want 2. I don't want them to raise. The fee is $160 US for adults and $120 for children under 16. So for renewals, the requirements are basically the same. However, I must tell you, there are some persons who still have old expired handwritten passports. Now, immigration is not going to be accepting those anymore. So it would be treated as though you're applying for a new passport for the first time ever again. So the requirements that I gave you before, those would be the ones that we would need to follow. And the fees remain the same as well. Things to note, immigration will also not be accepting birth certificates without the seal imprinted into the document. There's some handwritten birth certificates from back in the day that did not have the seal imprinted into them. There are some discrepancies in official documents, so that delays the process in getting your passport or getting your citizenship. Specifically, spelling errors, you got name changes, or in some cases, some people, they've always been called Joyce, that's their nickname, and everybody knew you as Joyce, wherever the true name is Andrea. Your passport, yeah, it's Andrea, not Joyce. If your documents are illegible, that too will hold up the process in terms of getting your passport and your citizenship. So make sure that you check the documents and make sure everything's correct. And I will also point out that in these great United States of America, sometimes your citizenship documents and your birth certificates have your name spelled wrong. And we pick them up. And then we have to write back to you and ask you, is your name spelled with a G? It's spelled with a Y? It's spelled correctly? Some of them got wrong birth dates on it. So I implore you to check your documents. There's another reason I'm going to encourage you to do that as well too, but we'll talk about that later. Poor quality photos, that will hold up your application as well. So please, when you go to have them taken, make sure that the photo quality is up to par. Because if you were in Barbados and you went to take the photos, you know how stringent the people are. Behave the same way. Tell the people that image properly. Make sure you see everything and cut it correct. A valid form photo ID. So that would be of driver's license or passport, whichever. And the estimated processing time for citizenship in total is about 6 to 8 months. So what happens is once you have all the documentation together and you send it down to the consulate, we're going to review it and make sure we have all the copies and everything, certify them, and then we forward it down to Barbados for processing. Once Barbados does that and we have everything, then it comes back to us and then we can forward it off to you. So we say 6 to 8 months, taking into account a complete application without any errors, the shipping and the processing times on both ends to get everything done. But sometimes it comes through a lot faster than that. Passports could be 3 months. We say 3 months as well too, because a lot of times when we're going through and we're doing our vetting process, we notice issues on your application, issues on your US passport, your US citizenship, your US driver's license, and then we can't process the Barbados application because your US documents are incorrect. And then we don't want to tell you what to do better. You need to correct the US documents if you want the Barbados documents done away. Yeah. So now questions. Who do we start with?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. First question, my husband was born here, but both his parents are Barbadians. So he can get citizenship.
Yes.
Would me and my son be able to get citizenship as well?
So what you're referring to.
Shay, just so again for our online audience, if you could repeat her question.
So her question was, if her children can get citizenship, her husband was born in the United States, but he acquired citizenship through his parents. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. And can she get the citizenship and can her children get the citizenship? At present, you would be able to get a citizenship through marriage. However, your children would not be as yet. So yes, that is something that we are currently working on and looking into. It is a process to ensure that we get it correctly and get it done well.
Okay, and then my second question, well, two parts. Would we have, if we got a Barbados Barbados passport, we would have a US and Barbados passport?
That's correct.
And how long is the Barbados passport good for?
10 years.
Thank you.
So to clarify.
So Shay, just, yeah, if you could just repeat that last question that she got.
Her follow-up question was the validity of the Barbados passport, which is 10 years. And also to if she can carry both passports at the same time. Yes, you can. We do, Barbados does allow dual citizenship.
So the descendant, law or provision is just only one, generation.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Pull it up, pull the microphone.
Okay, so as a descendant is only one generation of Barbadian descent that you can qualify for the citizenship?
That is correct, at present, yes.
Listen, y'all shouldn't have told me that, I have a bunch of kids.
I have a follow-up question to the descendant. If they're first generation born in the US, do they automatically get Barbadian citizenship, or do we have to file that form and pay the $750?
When you say first generation, you mean
Like-
if you were, go ahead.
Your mom is born in Barbados, mom and dad is born in Barbados. The child is born in the US. Do they automatically get Barbadian citizenship, or do we have to complete the form and do we pay the $750?
Okay, so the question was, if your parents are in the US and your child was born in the US, but your parents are Barbados citizens, if the child automatically gets citizenship. So you still have to complete the form and submit it, and it will be processed and pay the $750 as well too. You could fly home to Barbados and have a child there. But they're free. They don't pay the hospitals, so they cannot. So. And you can get hit with a bill after you give birth.
Okay, we have a question over here.
My son is 21. Do I have to apply for him to be applied for himself?
Sorry, who's that?
My son's 21. Do I have to apply for him to become Barbadian or can he apply for himself?
So the question is, if her son who's 21 years old can apply for citizenship, you do not apply for, he applies for himself as he's over the age of 18. Who's next?
I have a question. There are two of us, the twins. So we have the same parents that are both citizens. Can we send our application as together as one, or they have to be individual because we only have one birth certificate for each parent?
That's a good question.
I know it. I was there in Brooklyn when they were born.
So the question was, the twins, if they did submit one application, no, you need to submit two applications. One for each of you as your two individual human beings and persons who are registered.
That's not it, I think it's the birth certificate.
What's the birth certificate?
So can we send them together? We each have an application.
Oh, yes.
But send together, so we only have one.
Yes, you can send out one birth certificate. But just make copies for each application.
Question right here.
My question is, if I had a Barbados passport when I was under the age of 16, what's the process of getting one now that I'm over 18?
So the question is, if he had a previous passport as a child and now he wants to get a new one out, so at the age of 18, you would be applying for a new passport. So if I go back, right, so your process would be completing the Form A, which is for adults, that's for anyone over the age of 16. You need your birth certificate and a valid photo ID, your citizenship document, if you have citizenship exempt, and also the 2 passport size photos notarized, as well as US $160 payable via money order.
Yeah, I have a question. So if I also apply for citizenship, do I have to wait for that? I guess to go through and come back before I apply for a Asian passport.
So the question is, do you have to wait for your citizenship application to be approved and to be produced before you can apply for a Barbados passport? And yes, once you have received approval and you have made the final payment, you can then proceed and go ahead and apply for the Barbados passport as well too. We will try to get both things at once. When I say getting both at once, I mean as in once you get the approval for the citizenship, if you submit the written approval, I must say, once you have received written approval as well as the payment has been facilitated, you can proceed then with submitting your application for this passport and then go visit Dubai.
We have one moment, Mayor, right here, until the young lady there.
Did I hear you correctly? If you are divorced from a Barbadian, you can still get citizenship?
Hello, that's a good question, actually. I will have to research that, but perhaps. So I will look into it and get back to you with the confirmation.
Hi, you mentioned about the handwritten birth certificates.
Handwritten passports.
I'm sorry?
Handwritten passports.
No, okay, the birth certificate about not having a seal or something.
Yes, so.
Well, what I'm asking is, okay, you say that's not allowed. So I happen to have one of those old birth certificates
Without the seal?
without the seal. So what do you do?
Okay, so you're gonna need your brand new birth certificate right there. To go about that, what you can do then is submit to the, you can submit to the consulate, the application form for a birth certificate, which will be sent to the registrar's office at the Supreme Court. You'll forward that off. That process is very quick, it's very simple, and you get it back everything.
I can vouch for that because I had to get mine replaced, I think the rim, it was like worn and torn. And I had a friend just apply for it for me and then send it to me and I got it within 3 days, even I included the mailing.
Correct. Within a few days, you have that brand new birth certificate.
Do we have any online questions? I see, it looks like some things are in the chat. Nothing? Okay.
So I have one more question. So if a child gets their citizenship from a Barbadian adult, can they get that citizenship or can they file another term for another adult, like their other parent, if there's divorce, things like that? But if there's no marriage, like if they're divorced or if they're not, or they're unmarried, if the child gets citizenship and that child then get citizenship for their.
Okay, so the question is, if a child has received citizenship by descent can apply for citizenship for their parent who is a non-married.
Correct.
And the parents are not married.
Correct.
No, they cannot.
Any other questions today?
I have a weird question. Now, talking about the credit union. I have, like I have an account, the Republic Bank in my country. In Guyana. Now, if I get a credit union account in Barbados, what benefits you think I would enjoy more? Because I can go to Barbados and use my Republic my card to do whatever I want to do. And of course, it's the same thing I can do with the credit union. I know the credit unions have benefits, but I don't have any ties to Barbados. Okay, except, that, I mean, I know that my grandfather was born there. But my mom is not, doesn't have a dual citizenship. Nobody in the family has that. So I'm looking at that. Suppose I want to spend money and say, okay, let me use the credit union. Can I do an investment? Live in Barbados, would I be allowed to do those things to benefit from it? Those are the things I'm looking at as, as far as I'm getting.
Question for itself, pass up to him.
Thank you, Consul Archer. Okay, you know what? I think we will have an offline discussion because it raises personal things. You have to see, you have to decide what benefit it will be to you to do that. Yeah? We might have an attractive investment vehicle for you. Yeah? To invest your money. Stable currency. Yeah? You might visit Barbados regularly for your annual vacations. Yeah? Money's there and available for you. It really is, for you, it's a personal thing. Yeah? Because you're not vested, but you might think it's not for you. Yeah? You might want to buy a property and start an Airbnb business in Barbados. Yeah? Well, it's just a personal thing for you. But we have offline conversation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, something I wish to address with you, it's kind of more serious matter now. In the current political climate that we are having here in the US, the government of Barbados is taking the position that every citizen should have their documents up to date. Whether your Barbados card, your Barbados passport, have everything up to date and correct. If your US documents, you go through them and you realize they've got an error, go get them changed. Okay? Make sure everything is tight. There are reasons behind that, but we want to ensure the safety and security of our nationals always. So I implore you, when you leave here, go home and check your documents, make sure everything's spelled correctly, the inner comma in between, the inner L for a T or L for I, make sure everything is correct. If it is not, we'll get changed on Monday morning. Okay?